Admit it, when's the last time that you sat through the credits of a movie, and not just to get to the after credits scene? Where Batman does his taxes, or Hulk tells you to subscribe to our channel. Which you should totally do, by the way. We studied the data for movies made in the past 100 years to see just how crazy Hollywood credits have become. But Hollywood wasn't always this crazy. Crews were relatively small in early Hollywood. Most crews didn't exceed 100 credits at the beginning of the century, with the occasional epic approaching 175 credits. The first big spike came in 1939 with 2 films, Gone with the Wind with its crew of 365 and The Wizard of Oz with 444. Crews remained relatively linear for the next 30 years, slowly climbing up. By the time the 1970s rolled around, average crew size was double that of the 1950s. But everything changed in 1977 when we were introduced to a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars, with its massive crew of 677, easily overshadows similar films of its era and changes cinema forever. Then, only 6 years later, Star Wars shatters its own record with Return of the Jedi, the first film with over 1,000 people credited. The Star Wars trilogy would create a special effects arms race in Hollywood that would steadily increase throughout the years. The next huge spike comes in the early 2000s with the release of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. A staggering 2,000 credits are given for each of the 3 films. And it doesn't just stop there. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 in 2011 and The Dark Knight Rises in 2012 both have over 2,500 credits. But somewhere, in the vast darkness of space, a purple space alien was about to change things forever. Avengers Infinity War shatters the record set by The Dark Knight Rises with an absolutely staggering 5,091 credits. We've come a long way since Star Wars. And that's pretty much where we are now. Not even Infinity War's sequel, Endgame, could match the massive crew of its predecessor. And afterwards, even Disney seemed to scale down a bit. But the question still remains, do you really need a massive crew to make a hit? 12 Angry Men is today regarded as one of the greatest films ever made. Only 41 people are credited with working on this 1957 classic, which makes sense because of its limited production scale. But in the 1950s, Rashomon with only 39 credits raises an eyebrow. There's almost certainly dozens of uncredited crew members in early cinema, before union regulation required proper attribution. Foreign films are less reliant on massive crews. For instance, the Korean classic Oldboy only credits 109 people in its entire crew. 1997's Children of Heaven, an award-winning Iranian film, only has 63 credits. But how about the films with the highest cost per crew? We looked at the budget data for all our films, and this is what we found out. The Soviet war epic Come and See has one of the highest costs per crew, with roughly 300,000 USD per credit. But after that, something interesting happens. See if you can spot the trend. The Lion King, WALL-E, Toy Story 3, Coco, Up, Ratatouille. That's right, they're all animated. Animated films tend to have the highest cost per crew member, a trend that only seems to be increasing. In fact, this signals an interesting change in Hollywood since the turn of the century. In the past 20 years, Hollywood's crew sizes have ballooned over 51%. Most of this growth is in visual effects, which has increased a staggering 800% in this time. For the average modern film, visual effects makes up more than 25% of its credits, and on some films like Deathly Hallows Part 2, it's up to 62%. Here we are, in the modern age. So the next time you're sitting on your couch after watching an incredible film, do me a favor. Let the credits roll and stand in awe of the massive scale of modern filmmaking. Real quick, I want to thank you for watching this video. We're doing a lot of work on this channel to try and help empower small creators, so please leave a like and subscribe if you can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.